Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today it is time for another beauty blab, which is my version of a favorites video. So I don't feel like I always have products to talk about every single month, and so I just do these when I feel like I have a good amount of products to talk about. You know, they may not all be new things, but they're things that I've just been using a lot lately and I have a strong feeling about, and it may be a favorite, it may be something that I really am not liking, or it may be something that I just feel like is okay and it's worth mentioning. I do have quite a few products to talk about, so let's get into it. The first one is actually one that was on my list the last time that I did a beauty blab, and for some reason it just got forgotten. I grabbed all of the products that I needed to talk about and I put them in front of me, and I don't know, I overlooked that one on my list, and so it has been a favorite for a while. We'll talk about the favorites first, I guess. So that's the Origins Out of Trouble mask. This is a 10-minute mask to rescue problem skin. So this is a miracle product, honestly. This has been one of my absolute favorite things. Now, I don't use this all over my face. I may have done that like the first time that I ever used it, maybe even the second time, but ever since then, I use this just to spot treat. So basically, if I feel like I have either something that's starting to happen, that's the best if I can figure that out when I see something just starting to come up, or if I have something that is there already, something that's not going away, I will take a little bit of this mask, and it's like, you know, it's like a white type of, I don't know if you can see that, but it's a white mask. I just take a little bit of that, I put it on the area, I leave it on for the 10 minutes, sometimes longer, and then I just wash it off. And I feel like it really does get rid of those breakouts. It helps them, you know, go away if they're already there. It helps them go away quicker. I feel like if I have one that's starting to come, it kind of stops it from coming. I mean, it's amazing. And I feel like I can avoid getting a lot of those because of this product. And I just love using it that way. I think that it works so well, and I don't find it to be too harsh. I haven't found it to be too drying. I have combo skin for reference. So I can't speak to if you have really dry skin, but at least for me, I don't find it to be like too drying like some acne treatments. There's so much of it in here that because I'm not using it all over my face, it's going to last a long time. And I really can't say enough good things about this. If you get breakouts and you want a nice treatment that's going to get rid of them and it's not going to dry out your skin and it's not going to irritate it, I really recommend you try this. The next thing is a fragrance, and I know fragrances are so personal. I've heard people talk about different fragrances and it sounds like it's something that I'm going to like, and then I smell it in store and I hate it. Look, I'm definitely picky when it comes to perfumes. I definitely am, but I don't know. I still feel like it's such a personal thing, and not to mention that you may like how something smells. You may like how something smells on somebody else, but it may smell totally different on you. I feel like it's really important to get a sample of a perfume if you can and try it out for, you know, a few days or so and just see if you like it. See if you like the way that it smells on you, and make sure that you don't get sick of it after a couple days, because sometimes that does happen. So anyway, that's a long-winded way to talk about the one that I've been loving, which is the Pillowtalk Poet from Pinrose. I heard about this one from the Taylor, and I don't know, it just sounded good to me the way she described it. I don't remember how she described it. It's a little bit sweet, but not like too sweet. It just smells kind of warm and cozy, but just soft and not too offensive. I don't know. That's the best way I can describe it. Hopefully that makes some sense. I definitely would suggest smelling it, but I just love it, and I feel like it is one that is great for the fall and winter, but it's also one that I could definitely wear in the spring. Maybe not so much summer. I mean, I could, but I don't know. That's just the way that I am about fragrances, I guess. But I've just been loving it so much. I love the way that it smells. If you like scents that are a little more unique, I feel like I do enjoy like the typical scents. Like I do like Flower Bomb and stuff, but I don't know. I also really enjoy scents that I feel like are different and that I don't smell all the time on other people, you know, and I feel like this is one that is unique, but it's not weird, and it's still just really soft and easy, you know, it's just easy to wear, and I feel like it's not too strong or offensive that people would, you know, be turned off by it, and I just really been enjoying wearing it. Then I actually have a hair product. I know, I can't believe it either. You know, it's so funny. I was just talking about in, I think in my last empties, because I had some hair products in there that I'm really picky when it comes to hair products and fragrances, I guess. But I am, because I have a lot of hair. It's thick, it's curly. Like my hair takes a lot. My hair is high maintenance, okay? It takes a lot for a hair product to impress me. And I've tried a lot of high-end hair products that I just think are okay. I found a curl cream that I really, really enjoy. Now, I want to point out, if you are curious about my hair routine and where this fits into my hair routine, then definitely check out the video above. I'll link it in the eye. I did a video about my curly hair routine. So if you have curly hair, or if you're just curious, you can watch that video. But this curl cream, this is the Not Your Mother's Tahitian Gardenia Flower and Mango Butter Curl Defining Combing Cream. That's a mouthful, but it's a curl cream. And I found that for me, creams are really the way to go. You know, as opposed to like a mousse, because my hair is kind of like drier. A lot of the, I mean, my hair is kind of combo, just like my skin, I guess. But I need something with a lot of moisture. And I do use a gel on top of that, but I use a cream first. And this is such an inexpensive one. I just sort of bought it on a whim when I was ordering, and I needed something. I needed another hair cream. And I just love it. I just really like the way that my hair turns out when I use this. And I mean, it just tells me all I need to know. And I just ordered a bunch more of these from Ulta, because they were like buy one, get one half off or something like that. And so I bought a bunch of these, and they're only $9 each to begin with. So that's not bad anyway, because the one that I was using and I am still using up is from Moroccan Oil, which is way more expensive. So I'll take it. And I'm actually getting also, I got 3 of these. So, but then I also got one of this company's, Not Your Mother's. I got like a hair mask from them to try. So stay tuned for that. Maybe that will be good too. It had really good reviews. But anyway, I've been really enjoying this. If you have hair like mine, maybe you'll like this too. I was just very impressed and surprised that I finally found a hair product that I would include in a favorites. I actually have one concealer that's in my favorites category, and then later we'll talk about one that's just okay. So the one that I'm really loving, oh my goodness, this is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. And I'm sure you've heard a lot of people talk about this concealer, but it's beautiful. I have not been this excited about a concealer in a long time. This is as full coverage as the Tarte Shape Tape, but it's much more hydrating and not as heavy, and it's a little more forgiving. But it has such great coverage. I don't need a lot of it, but I just feel like it always looks good. You know, even if I apply too much, it doesn't look bad, you know, and it's easy to just sort of blot out if I've put too much on. I just think that it looks so, so nice on the skin, and it seems to work with all of the foundations that I've tried using it with, you know, and that's not always the case. Sometimes products don't play well together. This one I feel like just seems to work well with everything that I mean, at least everything that I've tried it with. You know, I haven't tried it with, you know, every foundation in the world, but at least the ones that I have, it's worked really, really well with them. I also feel like I can get away with this, you know, if I'm having a very natural makeup day, I just have to use less of this. I just think that it's absolutely beautiful. It blends out so easily. I can't say enough good things about this. I love a concealer where I feel like I don't need a corrector underneath, and I don't feel like I need that with this one. It's really, really good. And even though it's expensive, I think it's like close to $30, you get half a fluid ounce, which is half of the amount of a normal foundation. So that's way more than regular concealers. Like, to give you an example, and the Tarte Shape Tape has a lot too. So I'll tell you how much is in that one. The Tarte Shape Tape has 0.3381 fluid ounce. So even, I mean, this has even way more than the Tarte Shape Tape, but the Tarte Shape Tape has a lot anyway. Let's see. So, oh my God, I can hardly see. So this Flower Beauty one has 0.21. So, I mean, this is a lot of product for a concealer. This would take you a very long time to use up, even if this is the only concealer that you're using. This is also one that you can use to contour. So I'm really curious to try a darker shade to contour at some point. You know, there's so much product in here that I need to kind of use some things up first before I do that. But I just feel like the way that this blends out underneath my eyes and on my face, it would work really well for contouring, like cream contouring, which I've been enjoying a lot of the time lately. So I just really, really love this concealer. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. If you like full coverage concealers. If you don't, then obviously you're not gonna like this because it is full coverage. There's no way around that. But I just feel like it's really nice. I have mine in the shade light beige, and it seems to be a pretty good match for me. I don't buy like a highlighting type of shade in a concealer. I don't really like to do that much anymore. So this is like pretty much matches my skin tone, and I really, really like it. And if you've used one of those for contouring, let me know. Let me know if you liked that, if you didn't like it. I'd love to hear that. So I have a powder. This is the Maybelline Better Skin powder, and this is really a nice powder. I have mine in the shade Nude Beige, and you know, you can use this to set your face, which is very often what I use it for, or you can use it as like a little bit more of a powder foundation. So I'll kind of use it either which way. It's a really soft, creamy powder. It's not too heavy, but it has a nice coverage. And what's crazy about this powder is I had it for a long time. It's kind of embarrassing how long I've had this. So I got this from Influencer for free. And when I got it, I couldn't use it. I didn't know I was getting it until I got it, and I couldn't use it because it had salicylic acid in it, which I don't really notice like does anything. It certainly doesn't hurt my skin. I don't feel like it helps my skin. Nevertheless, I couldn't use that because at the time I was pregnant with my daughter, and then I forgot that I had it, and my daughter's 2 now. Whoops. So I kind of like forgot that I had this because I sort of put it away, and I was like, I can't use it. And so there was one day that I just saw it, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I got that powder. I want to try that. And I'm so glad that I did, because I really, really like this powder. You know, it's inexpensive from the drugstore. I mean, relatively inexpensive, but it's, you know, it's from the drugstore. So, you know, packaging is okay. It's nothing special, but I think it's a beautiful powder. I've really been enjoying it. All right, a highlighter. Actually, these are both from Dose of Colors, but one is a highlighter, one is a liquid lipstick. So the highlighter is from the I Love Sarah E collection. This is the Bathe highlighter, and it's one of those pinky tone ones, which if you are not new to my channel, you know that I've been really into those like pinky highlights lately, and this one is so beautiful. It looks like it would be too dark for me, and I think that's why originally I didn't get it, but it's not too dark. And it just, oh, it melts into the skin. It's really blinding, and it just looks so beautiful. And, you know, I don't think this would work for you if you had like really pale skin. Maybe you could just use it as a blush topper, but oh, it's just the most gorgeous highlighter. I really am glad that I finally got this one, and I've been loving it. And then the liquid lipstick from Dose of Colors. This is the liquid lipstick in Mauve Story. So this is from the Desi and Katie collection, but this is not their typical liquid lipstick. I love Dose of Colors liquid lipsticks. They are probably my favorite formula of a liquid lipstick, but I was still super intrigued when they were saying that they were coming out with a new formula, more of like, you know, something that would be a little bit more of like a ultra satin lip from ColourPop, the Bare Minerals liquid lipsticks, like ones that, you know, they dry down, but they're a little more comfortable. Like they're not transfer proof, you know, but they're not as drying. So I was very curious about that, because I had gotten more into regular lipsticks and more into glosses, and I had kind of moved a little bit away from the liquid lipsticks. Oh, I love this. First of all, yes, the formula is so comfortable. It looks really nice on the lips. I have very lined lips, so liquid lipsticks don't always look that great on me. This just looks so pretty, and it's really easy to apply. It's really easy to wear. It's just a great color. I love that it's a mauvey color, but it's not super purpley. You know, it's a really soft pinky mauve, and it goes with so many looks, and I really have been enjoying it. It lasts a long time, but it's more comfortable than your typical liquid lipstick. I really, really have been loving this. Then a lip gloss. This is the Fenty new lip gloss in Diamond Milk. And actually, as I'm filming this, I have already ordered the newest one that they just came out with, which is called Fussy. I'm so excited about it. It's like a cool tone pink, like dusty pink color. It looks so pretty. But this one I bought as soon as they came out with. This one in Diamond Milk is so beautiful. I don't know if it's, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily like, you know, a favorite above the original one, but I love this formula so much. I think I will probably buy every single shade that they come out with because I just love them. I love the formula of these. They smell delicious. Oh, they smell so good. And they just look so beautiful. They look absolutely stunning. This shade, you know, it's pretty sheer, but it just has that beautiful sparkle to it. It's not chunky. It's not thick and goopy. This is not a thick and uncomfortable gloss, but it's one that makes your lips look so juicy and wet and full. And it's a gloss that you can wear completely on its own and it looks beautiful, especially the original one. But even this one too, over a lip liner or a nude lip, I mean, it just looks gorgeous. I can't say enough good things about these glosses in general. So, you know, definitely check out at least one of them, you know, if there's one in particular that's up your alley, but I just love all of them. And the packaging is stunning too. I just absolutely love these glosses. And so this shade Diamond Milk is a new favorite. Okay, and the last favorite before we move into a couple things that are just okay and then some non-favorites. This is already getting so long. This is the Lancome Starlight Sparkle Highlighter Palette. It's limited edition. I just got this pretty recently. This is the newest thing to me that's in this group of products, but I know that I love this. I'm also wearing this today, by the way, as my highlighter. So this has 3 shades of their highlights that they already have in their collection. So that's what really attracted me to this because I've had this shade in the middle. Can't remember off the top of my head what the name of it is, but I'll put it on the screen. But this shade in the middle, the lightest one, I've had in my loves list. I don't know if it was Ulta or Sephora. For like the longest time, I've wanted to try it because I've heard Lisa Stevens talk about these highlighters and how they're so beautiful and she doesn't understand why other people aren't talking about them. She's talked about this one in Sparkling Peach. It's a little more of a gold. And then there's this pinky one as well, but they have all of these shades in their permanent line. And this costs about the same, I want to say, maybe like $1 more. Like it's very similar in price to one full size. So when I heard about this palette, actually I heard about it from Lisa Stevens, I thought I have to get that because I've been wanting to try that highlight for such a long time. And this is perfect. This is a perfect way to do that. And I love palettes like this that have the 3 shades in there that have a more gold, a more champagne, a more pinky tone, because it allows me to use it with all different types of looks. I can mix different highlights in here. I love having that. It's great for travel. It's just a really nice palette to have, and I've absolutely been loving it. I will say that this shade right here, the pinky one, definitely has a little bit more glitter in there. That doesn't bother me, but I know some people aren't into that. But these 2 shades right here, just the smoothest, most beautiful sheen. And I mixed these 2 on my cheeks, by the way. I mixed the pink one with the champagne. I absolutely love them. They're really creamy feeling. They, you know, they're a powder, but they're a very creamy powder. The formula is really, really beautiful, and I'm so glad that I got this palette because I actually got it on sale too. So I was able to get a pretty good deal on it, but I felt like it was a good deal to begin with. So I'm so glad that I got this because this was a great holiday release, I think, from Lancome. A few products that are just okay. The first one is a concealer, and this one is from Ulta Beauty. This is the Full Coverage Liquid Concealer. And first of all, you get very little product in here, which is probably good because I'm not like a huge fan of it. You get 0.08 fluid ounces. Okay, if you remember how much I was saying was in some of those other concealers. So this has very little product in there. So it's not the cheapest of drugstore, you know, drugstore products. Ulta stuff is usually like buy one, get one, whatever. So that's when I got this. You can always get this Ulta stuff on sale. And I had heard, I think it was Jessica Braun talk about this concealer. It's okay. It's not my absolute favorite. I do feel like it's a little bit dry. When I first apply it, I feel like it's going to be way more dry than it actually ends up being, so it's not bad. but it's not my absolute favorite. It definitely looks a little bit dry underneath my eyes. I have to be very careful how I apply it, how I powder it, what, you know, foundation I pair it with. I wouldn't apply this one with a brush. Definitely not. I would say it's between medium and full coverage. I wouldn't call this full coverage, but it's definitely, you know, fairly high coverage. So it's not bad. There are definitely concealers cheaper at the drugstore than this one, and you get more product probably. So it's just okay. It's not bad, but it's not a favorite. Okay, then I have a Wet n Wild product. This is the Mega Glow Makeup Stick Contour in the shade Call Me Maple. I heard about this from Nicole Renee Cutler, and this is just okay. It's hard because I love my Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. I talked about that in a previous Beauty Blab video. I love that product, and that one is very expensive compared to this one. But first of all, this definitely is a little bit warmer than I would prefer. It's not bad, but it's, you know, it's still much warmer than I would like. It's not bad. It's really not bad. The thing is with this, it's a little harder to work with. I feel like if I put it on my skin, I'm working harder to blend it in. If I use like a sponge to kind of pick up the, like, I just feel like I very often am picking up what's going on underneath. And the best way that I found to apply this is to take a brush and just kind of fluff it around and then kind of, you know, softly blend it into my skin. That's the way that I found that I like it the best. Definitely not going in directly with the stick. I don't know. I can make it work. It's fine, but it's not one that I would repurchase. So you may like this, and if you want a cream contour, this is a good place to try it out, but it's just not quite as foolproof and user-friendly as something like the contour one from Charlotte Tilbury. What can I tell you? The last product that is just okay, and then we'll talk about two that I didn't like. So I have the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. So this is one of those, you know, pore filling type of primers. I feel like this is very, very comparable to the Tatcha Silk Canvas thing. I feel like this is very, very similar. I also felt like that was just okay. I got a sample of that one and it's nice, but I don't think it's worth whatever it costs. So this one, a Sephora employee told me about this. I tried it on my face. I bought it. That's basically what happened. I thought that it looked amazing. And I do. I have sometimes a little bit of trouble blending foundation on top of it. I will say that. I have to be very careful. But I will say for a pore filling primer, you know, that's kind of what it looks like there. I will say for a pore filling primer, it's definitely not nearly as drying as some others that I've tried. I think you can tell, like, it really does smooth. I feel like it does a pretty good job of filling in my pores. But I don't know, I still have to be a little bit more careful with applying my foundation when I use this, and so for that reason I don't absolutely love it, but I feel like if I really feel like my pores are out of control and I need to fill them a little bit, this will definitely help. So it's okay. I still don't think I found a pore filling primer. I'm like on the hunt for one. I don't think I found one that has like rocked my world, but that one is pretty decent. And so then two products that I did not like, I don't have them anymore because I returned both of them. So the first one is another pore filling primer that I was trying because, like I said, I am on the hunt. I wasn't kidding. So this one, I'll put a picture on the screen so you can see, is the Touch in Sol No Poreblem primer. And I've heard people rave about this primer, how amazing it is, how great it is. That one is a little more of like a serum-y type of pore filling primer, which, yeah, doesn't make sense to me either. So, you know, it definitely doesn't have that, like, you know, silicone-y feel that a lot of those pore filling primers have, which helps to fill in those pores. The Touch in Sol one has a little bit more of a loose serum-y type of feel, and that's nice. So it's not drying, definitely not drying, but to me, I felt like it didn't do anything. Like, it smoothed out my skin nicely enough, but it did not fill in my pores at all. I don't know. I've heard people rave about this one and how it just smooths their skin and fills in their pores. Smoothing, sure, did not fill in my pores at all. It just didn't do anything, so I returned it. And then the other one is the Milk Blur Foundation. So this is another one that when I was in Sephora during the VIB sale, I tried a little bit of it on my hand and I was kind of blown away. It was super smoothing and beautiful. It you know, it dried down really nicely, but didn't look dry. I was super impressed by it. And I got home, I applied it, and I was just like kind of blown away. I put it on and it blurred. It really did. It really did fill in my pores, and I didn't see my pores. When I would put on my highlighter on top, I didn't see those pores as much as I normally would. And then I wore it for a whole day. And I kept trying and I kept trying and I kept trying, but that foundation just broke up on my face, which was kind of crazy because it's a, you know, it's a sturdy, full coverage, you know, definitely pretty full coverage for my taste. I was able to kind of shear it out a little bit. It was definitely still pretty full coverage though. It was one that you wouldn't have expected to break up because it felt pretty matte. Again, more matte than I typically go for. But I would have thought that it would hold up on my skin because I have combo skin. I don't have oily skin. I have combo, maybe too oily depending on the season, but it just would not last on my skin. It broke up on my skin. Around my mouth, like around my chin area, it would like disappear. It was really bad around my nose, around like the middle. This is definitely a problem area for me. I like get very, very oily and broken up around there. It just... I don't know if you can hear my dog snoring, by the way. Sorry if you can. I was so disappointed. I kept trying it. Like I tried it a bunch of times with a few different primers, with some different powders, with even, you know, some different setting sprays. When I returned it, the woman, you know, at Sephora, she told me that she had the same issue. So I don't know. I had heard good things about it, but it just didn't work for me. All right, everyone. So that is it. This is going to be a very, very long video, so I'm sorry, but I guess I had a lot to talk about. I don't know. I feel like I don't have a long list, and then all of a sudden I look at it and I'm like, that's kind of long. Maybe I should film that video, so I'm glad that I did that for you. Let me know in the comments below what you've been loving, what is just okay, what you're hating right now. I'd really love to hear from you. If you like this video, please make sure and give it a big thumbs up. That really does help out my channel so much. I post videos every single Monday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. If you are not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I would love for you to stick around, and I really hope to see you next time. Bye.